York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about the Knicks loss. Knicks lose to the Celtics 115-93. Wrong ticker is up there, but you guys know the deal. We're going to talk about it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's a lot of ugly to talk about. But I'm not even going to hold you. So we lost this game. We went up 2-0 versus the Celtics. Did not expect to have a sweep, even though we kind of joked about it on the program. Did not expect a sweep. I did 100% expect the Celtics to respond. So we're going to talk about that response. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce you to my guy, the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo, Leisure contributor, ESPN contributor. What's going on, Lee?
Good to be here, Jay. Tough loss. Another lopsided double-digit lead up until the fourth quarter. Seems to be the Knicks Boston special. This time the Knicks were not able to do another historic comeback. Again, back-to-back comebacks from being down 20 was the first time in playoff history it's been done in the same series, much less back-to-back games. Knicks cannot pull it out this time. However, I'm not concerned. We are still up 2-1. We still play at home. Next game Monday. Plenty of reason to be excited and optimistic for us walking away the series with a W.
Absolutely, absolutely. Although there are a lot of things to actually discuss, I'm not going to overreact to this loss whatsoever. So let's get started. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of trying to correct the ticker for the correct store. I'm gonna start out with the biggest problems for me. Our stars did not show up today offensively. Defensively, we're gonna have our issues with a 5-out offense like the Celtics. We're going to fight. When they put up that many threes, at a certain point, they're going to hit more than 25%. They've been shooting these last couple of games. But although there might be some things wrong with the defense, I actually want to start off talking about the offense. And even though I usually like to talk about the defense first on this show, I just feel like we panicked too early with our process because the Celtics were hitting so many threes so quickly. I really like the way we started game one off for the Celtics, where Brunson was kind of off ball more, kind of cutting and moving, then got on ball sometimes. Other guys got to touch the basketball, and then we just found open cutters and shooters that way within the flow of the offense. I kind of like the way we approached game one. It seemed like we tried to start that way a little bit. We got discouraged by the way they were shooting, and then Brunson went into ISO mode, and we didn't really recover. It just seems like we didn't have the force. Like we didn't play with I feel like because we've came back so many times, we're getting to this point where we're too relaxed in the first quarter. You didn't really see the knob start to turn up a little bit until the second quarter. And the Celtics are already rolling. And we can't get into games thinking we can just turn it up and catch up and wait for the mistakes, because now the margin of error is just that much tighter. So, that's one of my first observations that I saw when it pertained to the offense and JB and the lack thereof. I don't know. What did you think?
Focus on the offense first. They're the defending champions. So logic would tell you, and history would tell you, that at some point they're going to revert back to the mean offensively and have a game that represents their championship win. And they did today. And it was a pretty well-balanced attack. They got very solid contributions off the bench from Al Horford and Peyton Pritchard. And there's all five of their guys, I thought, were getting good looks. The volume's different between KP and Drew at the bottom of that volume, and then their two stars and Derek White at the top. But Pritchard has really came in and been a substitute starter for them. And when all those guys are clicking from the perimeter, it opens up their driving lanes, and they become, as Doris Burt said, more intentional with their offense. I thought that was actually a good turn of phrase to use, because they've been very unintentional games one and two, reacting to our defensive coverage and deciding, oh, they're leaving us open on perimeter. Let's just bomb away. Today they didn't do that. even though we still left them open on the perimeter. They chose in that first quarter to set a tone with physicality, gain to the paint. They have a very friendly whistle across their entire team, but especially Jaylen Brown and Tatum, which also helps them get into momentum. So when I looked at this, if this was the Indiana Pacers or Atlanta Hawks or Chicago Bulls, a team to me that represents a bottom tier team in terms of championship contention, I would be very shocked. But the Boston Celtics, to me, going into the series and going into the playoffs, were the best team in the NBA. So for them to have a championship caliber offensive night doesn't surprise me. There were some things I thought we did defensively or didn't do defensively that I thought could have given us a puncher's chance once the fourth quarter came around. For some reason, we didn't do a lot of those things. But offensively, I think there are going to be at least 1 or 2 games in a 7-game series into Celtics where it doesn't matter what you throw at them, how you adjust to what scheme you employ, you are going to lose to a barrage of threes and really excellent execution in the 2-point lanes.
Yeah, agreed. And on the flip side, I just felt like our guys, especially Brunson and Cat in particular, they missed a lot of open shots, a lot of good shots. I feel like Cat didn't really get. I mean, the Cat whistle has been weird all year, where he'll get hacked and he won't go to the line. I felt that especially like late in the game. I felt like he got hit a lot, and there was things I thought were obvious fouls that didn't get. But also, I just feel like Cat just missed really makeable shots, like 10 feet away from the basket in the post. All you gotta do is jump and hook. You missed those. I think he had like Drew Holiday or somebody or Derek White on him in the corner, and he goes to that little Dirk fadeaway he's been hitting all the time. He missed that. He missed some walk-in threes that he usually hits. Cat just seemed off offensively all night. It seems like the shots that he did make were the actual tougher shots, like a turnaround over the shoulder shot with the shot clock going down is a shot that I did not like, but it went in. But it was like a couple of those that went in that was just like, what? Okay. But then at the rim, JB gives him a pass at the rim off of an inbound, and he just misses a layup. No contest, no nothing. It was just a weird offensive night for Cat in general, and we just needed more from him. And JB, he seemed a little bit worn down with the usage, maybe, or the way they were attacking him, which I felt like is why when it got to the second half of the game, I felt like there's a lot of turnovers happening. The 3-point shot was kind of flat. I think it was 3 from 8 from 3. We probably want to need a couple more pull-up threes from JB this series to get things going. It just seems like the 2 stars just didn't have it today, and then we didn't have a guy ancillary to pick up any of that slack.
Damn, very well said, bro. Well worded too. I agree 100%. I thought most of the starters looked a little gassed, and especially Jaylen Brunson and Josh Hart. Josh Hart looked really tired entering the fourth quarter. And I think the rotations could have been expanded a little bit tonight, because I would assume that guys like Shamet and Payne would have a little bit more juice in them playing in front of the home crowd, opposed to on the road in Boston Garden. But considering Karl-Anthony Towns, we were talking about before the show started. I can't remember the last time I've watched a star with a worse whistle, or at least an unfriendly whistle, as Karl-Anthony Towns. And a lot of it isn't just homerism on my part saying, oh, look at my second favorite player in the team getting fouled in the paint. They're very real fouls. They're apparent and clear fouls across his entire shot diet, from the 3-point line into even offensive rebound putbacks. He just isn't the whistle, but Jaylen Brunson gets that whistle.
Yeah.
Tatum gets that whistle. For some reason, Cat doesn't. And what I didn't like about Cat is he started over relying on it bleed into the second quarter, where there was kind of some pauses where he was starting to get into it with the refs that I thought disrupted our offensive flow and our commitment to playing good defense. And I also thought that he was relying on it in the type of moves that he was making, where he wasn't powering through, trying to absorb a contact and finish throughout it, but instead hoping for a whistle to bail him out, because he knew the probability was high he would miss a shot, and now he's going to the free throw line. Well, the refs weren't giving you that whistle. You knew that by the second quarter. It's time to adjust your offense a little bit. And in my opinion, if you're not getting the foul calls in the paint, get to the perimeter. This is a game for you to shoot a high volume of threes. Is this one at home in front of your pops and your home crowd and the legends in the front row? This is the time for you to start bombing threes. Why not? You're already down 20 in the first half. To me, that was the adjustment from Towns that should have been made early on, and it wasn't. And our offense, as he went, our entire offense went as well because no one creates more driving lanes than Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah, it's funny. He actually shot 5 threes today. He hasn't really shot threes that much this series until now, and he was 1 for 5. Yeah, we just needed more. But speaking of needing more, like OG and Josh Hart. OG, like I always give OG. I'm a parrot, Ebony. Shout out to our sister Ebony. I always kind of give OG and McCall grace sometimes when it comes to their shooting because they usually have to guard the hardest guy in the other end of the floor. So sometimes I feel like it can take your legs offensively. But man, he was 1 for 6 for that today, 0 for 2. Seems a little bit unsure of where his shots are coming from. Even before today, like OG sometimes has this thing where he's really strong down low and can overpower people. Then it also he'll have these moments where his legs just seem to like fold from under him. And I know you don't skip leg day because he got tree trunks for legs. So like I don't understand why he's so weak under the rim sometimes. Uh Especially like there was a time in the season where he just seemed like he figured out how to use his body. And then now he's back to his kind of like other role of being, a floor spreader and only attacking every now and again. And I feel like he just forgot how to use his body from the part of the season where he was going off and giving us 30 a game.
Yeah, I think there could have been a little bit more of an emphasis on Brunson to get him the ball and get him the ball in his sweet spots too. I thought there was a little bit of tunnel vision. Not as bad as we've seen in previous, not even as bad as it was in Detroit early on in that series. But I thought Brunson over relied a little bit too much on ISO. But I think the reason for that is just Boston's defense really intensified this game from what we've seen in the previous two. I thought they guarded our 3-point shot a lot better. They guarded our driving lanes a lot better. They were anticipating some of the double drag action that we employed last game. They anticipated a lot of the pin down action we had been running for Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, and they cut a lot of that off, forcing Brunson to have to go one-on-one and try to get a bucket in traffic. And when you don't have the ball movement, that's when it
Right.
becomes difficult for OG Anunoby to be effective unless he comes in with a hyper aggressive mindset, which he did not this game. I think overall, Mikal Bridges was pretty solid. Mitchell Robinson, offensively, I thought was actually solid, not defensively, but offensively, I thought he was effective tonight. This is a game I thought was Shamet and Payne should have seen entry in the first half just to see if there's any type of juice they could bring. Because I thought that starting five rotation was out there, that lineup was out there too long going to the third quarter. Tibbs should have diversified a little bit more this game. Again, when you're at home, it's a little bit easier for those into bench guys that get some rhythm playing in front of the home crowd opposed to on the road. But Tibbs really stayed with his starting five, hoping at some point that things would gel again and take into place, but they didn't. And we ended up losing probably the worst game that we've had in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, I think I think he was under the impression that you know what these guys brought us back from hell before. So let's try it again, and we just went to the well too many times, and we just didn't have it today. Josh Hart, like you said, looked flat. Josh Hart gave us 21 points. He wasn't scared to shoot the open three last time. Today, I felt like he was scared to shoot the open three. So, we talking about the driving lanes and the room Brunson has. When Josh Hart is scared to shoot that three, it makes things harder on Brunson. It just does. So it's like then you go back to that. Okay, we really don't have that 5 out because at least OG still has a reputation. OG and McCall still have the reputation that they have to close out. Josh Hart, they'll just put KP on him, and KP will just roam in the paint. And we'll pass the ball to Josh Hart, and then we'll swing the ball around a few times, and we don't get the offense going because it's bogged down because he's scared to shoot. And last time he did a great job of letting it fly and got into rhythm. This time, not so much. I don't know what it is. Is he like more? Is he? Do the Knicks feel like they're just more comfortable in their offense away from home sometimes?
I am starting to challenge and doubt whether MSG is truly home court advantage for us. I
Yeah,
feel like our guys get tighter
yeah,
than the starting five, specifically the starting five gets tighter at home than the opposing crowd. And the bench for opposing teams always go off on us. And today Peyton Pritchard was no different.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you, Lee. I almost feel more confident going into Boston. Like
We're unbeaten on the road.
I'm like we haven't lost a game on the road yet. These playoffs, the team just looks looser on the road. Like they just do.
Agreed.
Like, and when I say looser, it's like you can tell they look looser by the open shots they miss. It's like when we on the road, we at least hit the open shots, at least in the big moments. When we are away, I don't know, man. Like it seems like I feel like, with the exception of maybe Deuce and Cam, I feel like those two, like at home, they perform better. Brunson is gonna be Brunson, you know. But I feel like everybody else, like I'm not sure. Like even McCall was shot well today, 6 of 10. Um, it seemed like I don't know, like the end of the game, like that end of game he had in Boston. Like, can he have a game like that in New York? Like even like all I'm talking about offensively now, because like think about his biggest offensive moments. I feel like his biggest offensive moments were, well, of course that Celtics game, but then it was like the Portland game. You know, I feel like a lot of his biggest offensive games might have been like away from home. That's just something to think about.
I've seen a lot of criticism so far on how the offense looked today versus games 1 and 2. It was a lot of the same action, a lot of the same attempts. I think you saw more bailout shots this time than you did games 1 and 2 because the 3-point shot simply wasn't going down. The rest of the team went 2 of 15 from three outside of Jaylen Brunson. That's not going to cut it. The offense looks clunkier. Lanes look more crowded when you don't hit your threes. They begin to be able to sag off you on the perimeter and start hedging more on the paint. And all of a sudden, you don't have driving lanes now either. And now your offense is regulated to turn the ball over 24/7 shot violations or getting stuffed at the rim, which almost every player got stuffed tonight in some capacity around the rim because of how crowded the driving lanes open. This is a team that doesn't have a whole lot of shot blocking. You
Yeah,
need to hit your threes to take advantage of that and not allow them to crowd and use bodies as deterrents for attacking the rim. You want to make them rely on single coverage and have to hold their man in front of them, and you use your strength and your overpower, which we have with Bridges, we have with OG, we have with Cat, we have with Brunson, we have with Hart. That's been our advantage games 1 and 2 when we came back. The 3 points weren't falling tonight. Again, you and I have came to a consensus, a middle ground. Doesn't have to be a super high volume, but it's key. Who is taking those open threes? Deuce is one of them. Hart is one of them. Who's taking more in the playoffs? Cat is one of them. Brunson's one of them. You need certain things that it's like when you have like your settings and you start making smart, very slight modifiers on
yeah,
NBA 2K. That's what the Knicks need to do. You need more shots from Cat and Brunson, and you need more made shots from Hart and Deuce. If those two things aren't happening, again, everything's going to shrink as other opportunities and the percentage of a shot you're taking.
yeah. I agree with you. You know what I did like today that I really haven't seen that much of. Brunson, Josh Hart pick and roll. Like it seemed like they had problems guarding that. It keeps them from having to cheat off of Josh Hart again. Any action that keeps people from cheating off of Josh Hart, I like. Whether it's Josh Hart initiating the offense as kind of our point guard, or Josh Hart pick and roll, where Josh Hart is kind of the diver, and now Brunson can kind of just pass the ball to him on. And if somebody rotates, now you're rotating off of a shooter now. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, I think we can take away from this game is definitely the Josh Hart pick and roll with Brunson. I kind of liked. Maybe we can get to that more. Cat, you just keep out of foul trouble, bro. Keep out of foul trouble and make those shots next time. I think next game those shots will fall if he gets those same looks. I think they'll fall, and we just have to play with more force. We just have to play with more force in general. And I don't know if you want to comment on the defense next. I know you might have some thoughts on that. We can get talking about the defense.
Yeah, again, the playoffs are a battle of ball strings. No matter what series you're watching, it basically comes down to that because there's so much talent on the floor. It's the little adjustments on the peripheral of the game that end up dictating which team wins and loses once you're into that second round, and talent disparity shrinks. And with the Knicks, it was no exception. I think games 1 and 2, we really succeeded and had an upper hand with the pick and roll of Karl-Anthony Towns and Jaylen Brunson. I thought we also used ball screens very effectively, specifically when Mitchell Robinson was in there with Cat. Mitch has been setting 2 or 3 screens per possession per play. I've been really impressed with his activity as a screen setter and how clean they've been. I don't think he's been called for a single offensive foul off of a screen yet,
Right.
which that in itself is impressive. Not only that, I think he's rotating. I mean, when he sets the screen, he's putting himself in position to at least be a threat on the lob. Now, granted, the Knicks are not throwing to him. You saw your first tonight with
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson and
finally.
him executing. But for the most part, that still has to be a certain level of gravity that is pulled from the defender, so you can't overcommit to Jalen Brunson, which then allows everything else to open up in terms of the shot for the pass all the way to the corner. Usually that's Bridges or OG Anunoby. So I thought the battle between both teams using them, because Boston's used a lot of it as well. They've been doing a lot of guard-to-guard screens between Tatum and Brown, or Derek White and Drew Holiday and Derek White, when Pritchard's in there with Drew Holiday. Tonight, I thought the double drag, the staggered screens, Boston used it to perfection tonight. They really create a lot of separation, and for some reason, I'm not sure why, we really went away from the switch tonight, and we started fighting over screens, and we got lost in rotations, and that really opened up things for them, specifically Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown getting clean looks where they actually had 1 or 2 seconds to gather themselves and hit a really nice shot while the defender is trying to recover from whatever screen knocked them out of the play in the action. They're back on them, and the closeouts were sloppy. They were missed. They were late, as were a lot of rotations when they started moving the ball on Boston's side. Those things, those are the little pieces on the peripheral of the game that can win or lose you one. And at home, it is imperative for you to protect the paint and protect the ball screen. And tonight, I thought we did probably the laziest job of the 3 games in doing so. And to me, that's the reason why Boston won, was the dissemination and execution of their screens, specifically the staggered ones when Horford was sharing minutes with Cornette or Horford was sharing minutes with KP. They used that same double drag action that we did with Mitch and Cat, which got us some opportunities. I mean, you had 2 possibilities for a lob. You also have possibility to give the Cat, and then Cat finds Mitch, as he did on that one play when 2 games ago when he reached around for a Mitchell Robinson lay-in. So it's strategy, it's strategic. You're playing a team. It's probably number 1, number 2 in terms of both sides of the ball, being a lead at it. So you had to play perfect basketball when it comes to the ball screens in order to compete against Boston. Tonight we didn't do it.
Yeah. You know what? There was good point. Also, it's like you said, we didn't really switch as much. Cat, man. Like, I'm seeing this debate about why are we going drop? We're not going drop. Cat is falling into bad habits.
Yes. Which he did not do in game 1. I thought
Right.
he was excellent staying at the level in game 1.
Right. So like, and if you need any more proof that Cat is just falling into bad habits, there's a play where Cat drops and you see OG literally pushing him up to the line for him to get up.
Someone make a gif of that for sure. You ain't lying, bro.
So I'm just like, when people was like, why it says running drop? That's not the scheme. Cat is just reverting. Like, get up on the line. Jason Tatum's a shooter. Get up on the line. So we gotta clean that up for sure. I got the Celtics did a really good job of attacking JB. Now JB has been playing his ass off defensively. I think they did a really good job of attacking him, like when they got close to the basket and kind of just finding open 3-point shooters. Whether it be like posting him on one side of the floor and reversing it, or quick post ups in transition that resulted in open threes. I think they really found a good rhythm with that. And also just I had something I wanted to say and I forgot. And also just I felt like Jaylen Brown still didn't shoot well from 3, but Pritchard, I feel like it's funny. I don't feel like I really even feared Jaylen Brown or Tatum that much. Like, I felt like I feared Pritchard more than I feared Brown and Tatum.
I agree 100%. I would add Derek White to that combination. I would say Derek White and Peyton Pritchard are 2 guys I fear the most. And damn it, if it's late game scenarios, put Al Horford third. Al Horford, super clutch with the 3-point shots, has been his whole damn career, but especially in the later stage while he was in a twilight era. Yeah, they are the only true 5-out team in the NBA. That phrase is thrown out so much and overused when in reality there's only one team that's truly 5 out and 5 out effectively their entire 8-man rotation. Cornette's a part of it now because KP is sick, but most time it's an 8-man rotation in playoffs. All 5 guys are dependable 3-point shooters. That creates a dangerous scenario for a team that does struggle, especially when you're not going to switch and you're going to try to fight over it. You're going to get lost in rotation. You're going to give up open threes. And guess what? That's what happened tonight. I agree with you too. You can't blame Tom Thibodeau for the drop. Drop is a general defense that we play. Like generally, we don't be in drop, except in certain scenarios. Then Tibbs adjusts it. But with Cat needs to stay at the level because that's been one of the things that has really put Tatum in bad positions to become a chucker, as well as Brown, is staying at the level and forcing him away from his driving opportunities where he has to over-rely when the clock starts ticking down to take those threes. We didn't do that tonight. And instead of them forcing them, they got in a rhythm and they even had time to adjust their posture to take them, which is like, at that point, you just throw your hands in the air and say, on a game 4.
On a game 4, man. I'm just throwing this away. I'm just throwing this one away on a game 4.
Flush it.
Like I said before, did not expect to sweep the Celtics. Actually shocked. We left here 2-0. There's been a lot of pundits who said, "Oh, whoever wins Game 3 is going to win the series." I never believed that, whether we won it or not. I mean, if we won it, I would say then it's over because it's 3-0 is crazy. But if they won it, we're still up 2-1. We're still up 2-1, and this team
at home. At home, bro. We're still at home too.
Yeah, we're still up 2-1 at home. It's kind of just the you already know what it is, man. The Knicks hate be real out here. Knicks hate is real. So like they're going to make these over polarizing clickbaity statements to try to prove a point because they just don't like the Knicks and they never have. It's been LOL Knicks for a long time. We've been in the playoffs 4 straight seasons. And they still not trying to give us any credit. So it's going to happen. We just going to have to win the next game to shut people up. That's pretty what it is. But even if it's not the next game, we just going to have to finish off this series. Pretty much.
Agreed, bro. Well said, man.
Yeah. Also, too, I'm going to just talk a little bit about Mitchell Robinson just because it's been an interesting juxtaposition of holy cow, this man is incredible. And man, this looks ugly. It's been like that for the entire series. Like despite his putrid free throw percentage, 34% from 3 on the playoffs, the ESPN, they did not let you forget his shooting percentage. Every time he went to the line, it was right there on the screen. Mitch has gotten to the point where he's even bad by bad standards.
Yes.
When it comes to
he might be the worst ever.
Huh?
He might be the worst ever.
Might be.
He might be.
And shout out to Terry who said this, and I have to absolutely agree. Terry from Terry Trey.
Oh man, legend.
Yeah. He said this, and I actually agree with him. Even Mitch isn't this bad. Like the nerves are getting to him. Like I've watched Mitch since he's been here. Since what, 2017, I guess? When he got 2018 when he got drafted?
17, 18, yeah.
Yeah. He's always been a bad free throw shooter. He's always had this line drive thing going. He's always had issues. I have not really seen him shoot air balls like this in the past seasons. So it seems like the pressure of knowing they're going to foul him is kind of getting to his head a little bit. So like it's not even like he needs like it's more like get the Ron Artest sports therapist at this point. You know what I mean? Like yes, yes, he's been seen shooting free throws before the game. Yes, practice. Yes, you need more arc. But at the end of the day, it's in between the ears. It's in between the ears. So still the amazingly, he's been on the floor for like 18 minutes. All the starters are like minus 23, minus 21, minus 18. He's a -3 with all of his missed free throws because he's just that much of a force defensively and getting rebounds. So it's like sometimes you're like, man, maybe I still want to kind of roll the dice sometimes. But it's like I understand the coach for not wanting to because of what can happen. So I get it, but Mitch, I just need you to be better. That's really what it is. I just need you to be better.
Hard to find something to add to that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a balanced critique of Mitchell Robinson, I think he's probably the worst free throw shooter I've ever seen in the playoffs. The attempts themselves are atrocious. I'll hand it to him. He did have one possession where he hit back-to-back free throws. So maybe, there's a silver lining there. Maybe continue 35, 40% up for next game. And he is becoming a liability on offense, specifically in the fourth quarter, even though Tibbs used him as best as he could in a chess move match, and that's the end of the second quarter in overtime. I'm sorry, it's end of the fourth quarter last game. But defensively, the man brings so much. I'm never mad at him. It's just kind of a general malaise and frustration. Like this summer, bro, I agree with you. Listen, James Dolan, Leon, don't drop a milli. Find the best free throw shooter in the entire world. He might be in Taiwan in a hut. I don't know where he is. Find him, pay him 10 times what anyone else would, and get that man in a lab with the entire team. Everyone but Cat. Brunson too. Everyone in there. And just teach him how to be an unbelievable free throw shooter. And watch Mitchell Robinson come back and shoot 70% next season. Whatever the cost is, whatever the number is on a piece of paper, times it by 10 and pay that man. Because listen, he is too important for us to be steamed off the floor. Defensively, it's not even the bot store stuff. You're right about the rebounding. You're right about the shot blocking. It's just him playing two on a string. It's him being the perfect hedge and recover defender on the team. It's him being able to guard the intermediate zone, play passing lanes, and the fear of God he puts into the drivers. I saw Pritchard dribble. He saw Mitch, and he was like, nope. Pass.
Exactly.
He didn't want no part of blotting this monster. Mitch is one of the most intensely impacted defenders I've ever seen in my own two eyes in the last 25 years. So, Mitch, man, hit your free throws, bro, because everything you bring to the table, it's irreplaceable, which is why, I stay never trade Mitch, even though his free throw shooting looks like mine.
Yeah, like when he switches, like when it's Mitch versus Tatum, like Mitch has gotten the better of Tatum in those matchups most of the times, if not all. I'm trying to think. So,
and he also has a best plus minus of the entire team in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's like, and the Knicks have the best defense in the playoffs when Mitch is on the floor. I saw a stat on that on Twitter today. It says the Knicks are a net rating of 97 on defense when Mitch is on the floor. So it's like he's just that important. He just has to hit those free throws, man. Hit those. Joe Mazzulla going to hack a Mitch up 31 was, oh my God,
disgusting business.
That was
grotesque.
Oh my God, that was so annoying. That was so annoying. Ugh. I know Mitch was annoyed. I was annoyed. Josh Hart was definitely annoyed because Josh Hart was about to go for a layup. And he was like, oh my God. You saw it on his face. It was like, man, I couldn't believe it. It was annoying. It is what it is. But shout out to Mitch Robinson. Like I said before, man, I'm not overreacting to this loss. We're still up 2-1. This is the defending champs. No one said it's going to be easy. I know people were joking about sweeping stuff. It wasn't serious. I expected them to get a game in. They shot 50% from three today. They shot 25% the other two games. We just have to play a little bit better defense, and I think we'll be fine. And get back to our process on offense. That first quarter to me in the game one was the process that we need to stick with. That and of course the fourth quarters as well. Of course.
When I think about all the different metrics that you can look at to dictate what variance was at this game, what variance needs to be adjusted next game, it really, to me, comes down to two simple stats. You can't win a game against the Boston Celtics only having 16 assists, which means the ball needs to move more.
Right.
Okay, let's unstick it from Jaylen Brunson and get that ball moving more. Start in the first quarter. That way, it's a snowball effect.
Right.
By the fourth, hopefully, you're in a free-flowing offense and even getting some transition opportunities.
Agreed.
But 16 assists, unacceptable. 26, that's more the number that I expected in a world-class defense from the Boston Celtics. And the other one to me is 5 of 25 from three for 20%. Even if they're shooting 50, I mean, at worst, you got to be around 35, 37. At worst.
Yeah.
20% is just unacceptable. You're not going to beat the Washington Wizards in a 7-game series shooting 20% from three.
Can't beat me and you.
Yeah, for real. For real, man. But against Boston lives on that. Like, that's how they get into their rhythm. And that's why they shoot so many threes, is because of wherever threes are coming from. Brit threes on the other end, which then they pull up above the break. That whole team is so good above the break. I can't name one player on that team that's not a efficient to elite above the break 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
All of them are. So when you start bricking, they start making. It's a simple equation. So those two stats: up your assists, move the ball, shoot more threes, make them when you can.
I heard you. Yo, salute to the chats, man. Salute to the chats. First of all, shout out to TikTok, man. Yeah, TikTok. TikTok was giving us love. We had 1,000 views on TikTok the one night, 2,400 views on TikTok the other night. More follows. Gifts are coming in. We've been kind of grinding on this thing, and TikTok is starting to pick up at the end of the season. Super appreciate y'all guys who are here, new and old. We're here after every game talking Knicks basketball. So hopefully you here rocking with us on TikTok land. We'll keep rocking with you guys as well. So shout out to Latasha Council who sent us 2 roses on TikTok as a gift. So salute to you. We had our gift last. We had a first gift last week. Shout out to you, Natasha Rose. And also shout out to W3921. Who says Celtics couldn't beat the Knicks first 2 games while shooting 25% from 3. I agree. Shout out to Rob M. Shout out to Weapon X34. Shout out to E Money. Everybody else rocking TikTok land. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Also shout out to our peoples on YouTube. I see we have a super chat on YouTube. Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Oh, Parrish, what's good, Parrish? He says, people want Brunson to get everyone's shots early, and that's what it looks like. I want Brunson to dominate early and late, freak the others early. Things that make you go, What do you think about that? I already know what you think about that, Lee, but I'm just, humor me. What do you think about that?
No, Brunson's a closer. He's the best closer in the game. You know when you need him, he's going to be there when you call. First 3 quarters should be about getting everybody else involved, specifically OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Run spin downs for him. Run more off-ball action. Do some off-ball screen setting. To me, it's Brunson's his shooting in the first quarter. I could care less. I actually prefer not to see him going off in the first quarter because that usually leads to a one-man team. And we by 4th quarter, the dreaded heliocentric offense kicks in. I would rather see OG Anunoby slash to the basket, backdoor cuts, Mikal Bridges, midi, fall bad fadeaways. I don't want to see Jalen Brunson score 20 in the first quarter. Like, that's a sign of doom for me. Let's get everybody else in the flow. Let's get a moving. Let's get Cat 10-5 in that first quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, man. I like Brunson getting everybody else involved, taking a shot here and there, and then 4th quarter when it's time to win, taking over the game.
Yeah.
That leaves the Celtics to kind of have to stay home on those other guys, and keep people off of Brunson when he has to work. Because now Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby's hitting shots. You're not gonna be as quick to double off of Brunson because they've been hitting already. So I'd rather Brunson close, get everybody else worked around and worked up, getting easier shots first. That's how I see it.
Yeah, and one more amendment to that is you don't know what the defense is giving you unless the ball is moving in that first quarter. You don't know that the backdoor cut is there unless you try it 2 or 3 times and you have success over it. Well, now you know you had that in the 4th quarter as an option. It could either be ran as a decoy or it's your 2nd or 3rd option with an offensive set. But you don't know that unless you try it in the first. Just having Brunson go off and let him be the one who's on ball the whole time, you don't see those wrinkles or those holes in the opposing team's defense. It's important to find those things out because they sure as hell found out for us and they exploited it in the 4th quarter. There's no chance by the time the 4th quarter started for us to use any of the holes that we found to draw a comeback on. So, it's important.
Definitely important. I'm seeing Fritz saying we have a caller on Discord. Hold on a sec.
Pitts for Timmy? Bring him in, bro.
He was just like, I didn't put the link up. So for guys who don't know, people they just joined the Discord and he has something to say. He's like, I'm just gonna get here anyway. I didn't put the link up, but he's like, I already joined your Discord. I'm just jumping in. If you see me, you see me. I know it's showtime. Let me get in this. So let's do it. But before we do that, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Mark Bourgeois. Shout out to Gamer Channel. Shout out to Lloyd's brother Anna Grell. Shout out to A Train. Shout out to Felicia Lee. Shout out to Fritz, the best mod in the game.
Yep.
Shout out to JT Riddick. Shout Shout out to Alexander. Shout out to my guy Alexander. I haven't seen him in a minute. And shout out to CC. Everybody else rocking with the KOT show. Shout out to you guys. Also shout out to W3912 on TikTok as well. He said Celtics. What he said? Celtics couldn't beat the Knicks in first 2 games while shooting 29% for 3. I read that one. I'm sorry about that. I meant to read another one. He said the Knicks haven't played their best game so far yet, and we won 2 games. So I still feel like there's another gear for us to go personally. So we'll see if we get to that gear in game 4. All right, so I see Joey from Discord from Atlantic City in here, so I'm gonna bring him into the Discord to see what he has to say.
Cool.
All right. Okay, Joey, can you hear me? You're now live on the KOT show. Joey, can you hear me? Oh, I hear something. Hold on, maybe my volume is too low. Hold on again.
I didn't know if you were taking them tonight or.
Oh wait, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Me connect you to my board. All right, can you hear me, Joey?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right, cool.
Am I good?
Yeah, you perfect.
All right, yo, shout out Lee, shout out JLS. What's going on, guys? Thanks for taking my call. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm really not really that upset about tonight's loss at all, to be honest.
Good.
I mean, we kind of just looked like we were going through the motions a little bit. I mean, we all kind of knew that the Celtics were going to take one game. They were hitting their threes like there was no tomorrow, so there was that. But for us, man, we got to take more threes ourselves. I mean, if that's what this playoffs is going to be, it's going to be whoever's making more threes. I mean, we got to let them fly. We can't go 5 for 25 from 3 and expect to be in the game at the end. You know, it's like we're almost shooting ourselves in the foot. So we really need to fix our shot diet. I don't know if we're going to have Brunson take more threes or if we're going to give it to Cat, maybe get OG involved a little bit more. But we need more 3-pointers to go up because, you know, they took 15 more threes than us and made 15 more threes. So, you know, that's bad in itself. So,
yeah, you know what it is.
I want to talk.
Like, I was always under the impression, right? So, yes, we need to take more threes, but I feel like I always said, you know, we need to go inside the Cat because we have the advantage there and force them to double or at least get to the line. But it's like Cat is just not getting the whistle. Because, like, if you're not going to make threes, we got to slow the game down, get some fouls on this guys, make it hard for him to guard us. But Cat just get, like, Porzingis fouled him like 2 times in the second half and like nothing. So,
well, with Cat too, man, when he gets to the rim, he likes to scream a lot, like he yells, and it kind of makes it seem like he's messing up instead of the refs giving him the call. He needs to start being a little bit more like draw the foul a little bit more, but don't like scream and yell like, "Oh, I need the foul, give me the foul," because the refs aren't going to give it to you, man. You got to sell it like Brunson does. Make the contact, try to put up a good shot, and then fall over if you have to.
I mean,
you know,
like,
I don't know, man.
You got the falling part. I don't know if everything else before that's happening.
I mean, dude, he just has to stop getting in his own head with the refs because that's a big part of the game too. Like, we need to move forward, like get the game, you know, keep going. We can't just be stuck on one play because that happens too much. So
I agree with that.
Another thing too, man, like with the substitutions right now, I know we saw a little bit more of like Precious and Shamit. We saw a little Daylon tonight. But it's starting to get to the point where it's, you know, it's getting a little too late, man. We should have been getting these guys involved and putting into our rotation because I think Hawkporty can help us. I think Delon can help us. I think we can get help from Shamit. Shamit's good 3-point shooter. Like, these guys can really help us. We just got to figure out where they're going to slot in and how they're going to help us. So, I mean,
I half feel you.
Daylon for sure.
Same. I half feel
I've been jumping up and down about Daylon since game 1. I've been, put in Daylon. He's got good defense. He's a good point guard. Like, I'd rather see him than Campaign. I mean, I know Campaign's good and can hit threes, but to get our offense going a little bit more, like, we only have like 16 assists per game. It's like, we need to get our assists up too. We got to move this basketball. That's how we're going to win. Ball movement.
I definitely agree with you on DeLon over Campaign for this series.
I want to see Daylon. I've been saying it since game 1. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but Daylon, right? I want to see him get that second point guard spot because I think he can do it.
Can you hear me?
Can you?
All right, JLS. Thank you for taking my call, man.
Joe?
No, I can't. I can't hear him.
I agree with you 100% on that, bro.
Oh, he said he agrees with you 100%.
Yeah. Well, we got to get him in there. I mean, he played what 2 games for us, and he was hitting threes like crazy, playing good defense.
Right.
He hasn't really had a good sample size for us at all.
Yeah,
But the time he has had with us, it was good. It looked great.
It's just tough. It's just tough because we brought Cam Payne here at the beginning of the season to be that, and you have Dylan Wright who was here. He did well for those games, but like, I feel like politic wise, it's rough to do that, and I also just feel like Cam Payne still has like a resume of playing well in the playoffs. So you just hope that kicks in at some point. And he had like one really good game that he won for us versus the Pistons, and then nothing after that. So we're just hoping something kicks in for Cam Payne where he gives us like another win, because they got Pritchard off the bench killing us. We need somebody off the bench to kill him.
Yeah, I think Daylon could guard Pritchard. I don't see Pritchard going off again. He had that good game tonight, but I don't see it, man. I really don't. I don't see him doing much more for them. He had that good game tonight, but we need someone to lock him up like Daylon, and I think he could. I think he'd get him good.
Heard you.
So.
All right. Well, yo, thanks for calling in, man. You're always good to hear you call in, and you always have some pretty decent.
That's all it takes, bro.
Man.
I appreciate you. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me call in.
Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to my guy Joey.
That's all it takes.
Solid.
I agree with you. I don't think that Hot Porty or who else? That is Hot Porty's the only one he said I disagree with.
Yeah.
But I do think this was the game that Shamet and DeLon Wright should have gotten a crack.
I can see that.
At the end of the second quarter, beginning of a third, maybe even start the third with Shamet and just see how Missoula adjusts to that. And that can tell you some about his game plan too. But you need some diversity out there. It's just with the bodies. Josh Hart was obviously exhausted. You can't only sit Brunson so much. But Hart, I think you could have gone with a different option there to spread the floor and it actually be 5 out with Shamet there or with DeLon Wright, who can play the 2 and maybe the 3, depending on who the other 2 guys are in the front court. Definitely play the 2. It sits 5. So I think he would have been a good defensive option for Peyton Pritchard because, as I saw on Twitter, Deuce and Bride can't guard white guys. There's something about guarding white. Deuce and Bride gets cooked by the Caucasians, man.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't know what it is, bro, but
I'm telling you, man, I actually, after this series, I actually feel Pritchard more than freaking Jaylen Brown and Tatum. And I know it's weird to say. It's just that.
I understand what you mean, though.
It's just like, you know what it is? It's the foot speed with the shooting. I think that's what it really is. It's the foot speed with the shooting. Like, I actually feel like we can guard those other guys with a Mitch or a McCall or a OG, and we've shown instances when we've done that. But I feel like Pritchard just creates so much space with his handles and his movement, and a lot of it too. And I feel like I don't feel like we really haven't gotten. I feel like we have good defensive moments against everybody but Pritchard. I feel like Pritchard just misses. And if he misses, he just misses. And I feel like everybody else, we've kind of bothered them in somehow in some way. So
Agreed.
yeah, I'm that's something to keep an eye on.
It's no bunny season for Deuce.
Oh, no bunny season for Deuce is crazy.
Snow bunny.
Go to the corner, Lee. Go to the corner, Lee.
Sorry, bro.
Oh man.
I gotta laugh so I don't cry. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm trying to laugh at a loss.
Oh man. I'm calling Dr. Umar right now. Calling him right now. All right.
Yo, that's an Ayo moment right there. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, shout out to Parrish Duggar who sends another $2 super chat.
That's what
He says, I think Tibb has to counter this game with a plan.
With a what?
With a plan. He's not specific about what plan. He's just saying a plan. He just has to counter. I mean, yeah, it's like maybe. Or we, like I said before, I think we yes, but I feel like we just have to execute the plan better. Like, I still feel like game 1, first quarter of game 1, and of course the last quarter of game 1 is how you want to play. Like, I feel like the way the players were moving and the ball was moving, I feel like that was fine. I feel like the pick and roll of Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson today was fine. I feel like posting Cat is fine. I feel like the trail threes from Cat today was fine. I just think defensively we just have to stick. We have to play up to the line when it comes to the threes. we have to keep Mitch out of foul trouble. I feel like we just have to execute certain things.
I think we need to put OG in more action purposefully. Get him more on ball. Get Brunson a little bit off ball in the first and second quarters. The first half. Maybe that means pairing him with Deuce quicker, so
Right.
Deuce can handle some of those responsibilities because he doesn't play too much pain with Brunson ever. So it's got to be Deuce to handle the ball, or Bridges or Hart start handling the ball and play point guard and allow Brunson to go off ball. And also, I think I agree with you, man. Cat's been fairly good in his post up opportunities. Hit him, especially the minutes that he shares with KP. Those really abuse KP's lack of mobility and short foot speed while he's ill, and try to get some points in the paint that way too. It sounds a little harsh to exploit that, but if he's there, he's a body that you have to attack. Pause. So I want to see a little bit more of that defensively. Defensively, I think we're clean up. I got no concerns moving forward defensively, but I'm worried about how they adjust to our adjustments on the offensive side and how they start guarding things differently. And some of the stuff that we had in those 2 games in Boston start to become more scarce here at home in MSG. So we got to find new ways to score. And when I look at this team, to me, that's OG, and getting him more involved is the best way to do that.
I can see that. I can see that. 6 shots from OG was kind of putrid today. So I can definitely see.
I see my man, the Predicate in the chat saying that OG's dribble game is weak versus active defenders. I actually 100% agree with you. A lot of guys on the roster struggle with their handle. Cat, Hart, Bridges, OG.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Brunson. You know, he's a lead guard, so it made sense. But OG is about where you get in the ball. Have Bridges strain for him, Hart strain for him, off ball, catch it on the cut, and get to the hoop. It doesn't have to be where he's bringing the ball up or initiate the 3-point line. He can initiate free throw line in, and I'm not worried about his handle in those situations. If anything, he's going to draw a foul, but just get him into the action instead of him being an observer stuck in the corner, which is kind of how he played tonight.
Right. I feel you. All right. I mean, I said everything I had to say. I really didn't say anything else. I'm salute to you guys who's rocking with us. Shout out to the guys on TikTok. We have to have a game talking Knicks basketball. Shout out to the new followers. Shout out to people who gave gifts. If you're into Knicks basketball and you want somebody place to go to talk Knicks basketball after the games on TikTok, come here and we talk to it with you. Thoughts on Pritchard? We kind of gave our thoughts on Pritchard already. Melatonin. Like I said before, I kind of feel like I'm more worried about Pritchard's offense than the other guy's offense. Ironically, Jason, because we haven't really figured him out. Other guys, I feel like we have moments where we have figured them out, but we haven't figured out Pritchard. So, Dan Anderson says, "Can Robinson shoot a 3 when getting fouled instead of a free throw?" Robinson, I don't see Robinson shooting 3s. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. All right. Knicks Bucks in buckets says it's really comes to keeping it close into the 4th. Gotta have a good start eventually. Agreed. All right. You want to get to the other part of the show, Lee?
Sure.
All right. This other part of the show, for you guys who don't know, are called the Ooh and Bruh picks. Ooh picks are usually the best plays of the game or something good that you want to point out that we give that ooh to. Bruh picks are something stupid, dumb, idiotic that you want to say is stupid, dumb, and idiotic. It could be a basketball play. It could be a take. It could be anything. Bruh. All right. So, Lee, do you have any oohs or bruhs today?
Ooh has been to, man, I love the vibes on Twitter right now on the podcast, having Kyle Quinn, like, it's great to be a part of Knit Nation at this moment where we're still up 2-1 on the Boston Celtics going to game 4. It's a great feeling. And the fans have been euphoric. It's been great communicating with people and resonating and connecting with fans across the world. It's a great platform on Twitter, that is, to use to connect and kind of and not just enjoy the misery of the Knicks, but the euphoria as well and the joy for us being ahead in the second round. It's a great feeling. I've really enjoyed hanging out and meeting new people, also having great ball conversations with old friends. I have to connect with Terry from Terry and Trey Day and chat a little bit with him. Also text his mom a day too. Let's go Knicks when they first got to the arena. So they're a great duo. Would love to have him on the show sometime too. It's been too long. Gotta have him. But also, Phil's show was excellent. Thursday night. I think our show with Kyle Twin was really excellent. Glad Ebby could make that one too and be able to meet Kyle and you meet Kyle. That was really fun. We got more surprises coming as long as we're in the playoffs. We got more surprises coming. So see y'all in the finals, baby.
If we go to the finals,
We go to the finals. Michael Sweetney, Eddie Curry, double feature, baby. Let's go.
Oh man. We got somebody else in the chat. We got our guy picks for Timmy in the chat as well.
Oh hell yeah, bring him up.
Yeah.
I got one more fight in me.
All right, cool. For me though, my ooh, do I have a ooh? I mean, we still up 2-1, so whatever.
Yeah.
We still up 2-1. We gotta take care of business though. We got more opportunities to win, more avenues to win. We just have to play with more intention, hit our shots, play defense, not lose our head, and we should be fine. So I think we just need to take care of business in the next one. So shout out. So yeah. Bruh pick Mark says bruh pick to Paul Pierce, who had to walk 18 miles to work because he bet that the Knicks were gonna lose the first 2 games and didn't. So I guess you give that to bruh. Shout out to you. All right.
I got a bro pick.
What's that?
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander played absolute cheats last night, as did Jalen Williams in crunch time. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, I called him J-Dumb after last night, was unbelievable. Extremely ethical scoring first 4 quarters. But in overtime, my guy choked. I don't think he had a single point in overtime. And Hart, who now I call iShart, my man missed back-to-back bunnies at the rim in overtime, point blank, open shots, and bricked them all, airballed one of them, and bricked 2 of them. So always great to see him getting dog walked by Nikola Jokic in the playoffs. Another dog walking. He's getting that cardio and getting the miles on them puppies, baby. I love to see it. Room for Denver, man. Nuggets in 7.
Okay. I mean, listen, the youth is showing right now.
Yep.
The youth is showing as good as they were all season. Pressure bust pipes, man. Just like when it came to the Pistons. The same thing when we were talking about the Pistons versus Knicks, and everybody said the Pistons are going to lose. The Knicks are going to lose to the Pistons. Veterans matter. People who've been there before matter. So they could have the potential to win a chip, but they got to go through some things first, feel that pressure, so they know how to respond next time. Yeah, man, that veteranship matters. So I mean, good for them for getting there, but they got to finish the job. Job not done.
That's bro.
Yeah. So same thing for the Knicks. Job not done. Same thing for the Celtics. I won 1 game. Job not done. All right. Let's get to it. I see my guy Picks for Timmy is in the Discord. So let me bring him in. Yo, what's going on, Picks? You are live with the KOT show. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear Lee because he was having problems before, but what's going on, Timmy?
What's good, man? What's good, Jay Ellis? Lee Escobedo, the official op. What's good, man?
What's good, man?
It's all good, man. We're still up 2-1, man. It's kind of like the Garden, man, honestly, and this goes back to probably Knicks teams, probably the last like 3 to 4 years, like literally the whole Tibbs era. We don't play as good in the Garden as we play away. It's just kind of like a trend at this point. And when you're coming back on this particular game, where you're coming back from Boston up 2-0 and the city is live like this, like, yo, it's just a heavy situation to be able to come out there and give the same energy on Mother's Day weekend and not, try to like be too overexcited. Like, our offense totally changed tonight. Like, I don't even know what team that was out there. We're not even running the same sets. We're not looking for each other the same ways. We're not cutting off the ball the same way.
Yeah.
Like, it was not the same team out there.
Definitely.
So I'm not really worried about like changing necessarily an X and O for the next game. I'm concerned about the effort and the mentality towards execution.
Right.
So if they're not going to get out there and play ball, like literally, let's make it ugly from the tip off. Like, That's how we're going to win. We're not going to come out here trying to, ISO and look pretty, a crossover to win a game. That might work, but we need to make it look. We need to get dirty. They got to be in the mud and rolling around out here. It got to be gritty. So with Cat, what I would like to see, instead of getting him involved on the low block so much, move him to the free throw line extended. When he was in Minnesota, he was able to get some really great opportunities from that area. And because he's such a great passer, as you guys have probably seen in prior games during the season, it gives him opportunities to get to cuts off the ball too. And literally everybody that they're putting on him is just too small. Like, I invite the opportunities for Al Horford to guard him, because Al Horford's just going to get in foul trouble. He can't guard him either. Like, they got no answer for him. JB, like, I appreciate the fact that he didn't immediately just, go away from looking for teammates. But what I was noticing today was once we got to the second or third swing, even though we were probably a little bit ahead of the man, we were still rushing the shot. Like, yo, take your time. If they're going to come and pressure the ball, pump fake, get them in the air, and one. Pump fake, go to the rim. Pump fake, swing it again. Josh Hart, same thing with him. Tonight, what I'm looking for him is, okay, you can take it to open three if you get the ball in the swing, but if you don't have it, driving it in with this particular team is just as effective, because it causes the defense to have to collapse, and there's 4 other shooters hanging around anywhere else on the floor. So get to the rim. And then we have great rebounders. So Cat is a great rebounder. He's gotten a lot of second chance opportunities just from us going towards the rim. Pingus Tingus, like, I'm glad he played 14, 15 minutes a day, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. There's opportunities for us to be able to attack him. Lee, I actually want to give you a little bit of credit. It hurts me, but yeah, you did pick that out, bro. His foot speed is a problem for them, and they try to mask it a whole lot.
Yep.
But this game reminded me. I actually posted it in the Discord. I think it was December 7th. The Knicks had the Knicks Legends Night. We played Detroit. We were on like a 6-game winning streak at that time, and we were expected to come in there and spank Detroit. We ended up losing 120 to 111. And sometimes basketball is a tricky sport. Sometimes it is more about emotion than anything else that's going on. So with this, like, I just want them to go ahead and remember, y'all got your ass whooped on national television, ESPN, on Mother's Day. ESPN showed you no respect because they were just boosting Boston the entire time. Jason Tatum's on there with the Superman commercial. They're getting all the timeout interviews and all that BS. Okay, remember that. They got to come back to New York. And then after that, man, we've already seen you in Boston. So we took your best. Hopefully, y'all gave your best shot here. And from what I'm seeing with Missoula, he's making a lot of the same mistakes. And I think with him, he has a little bit of an ego issue where he doesn't want to change it up too much. Because they could actually do a little bit more, at least from my perspective. And with the hack image, like, I just don't see that being a successful game strategy for him long term. Like, they're putting themselves in the bonus so early. And we have people like Jaylen Brunson who are just professional foul baiters. Like, all right, cool. I like that. Keep going, Missoula. But that's all I got right now, man. Don't get down, New York. We still up 2-1. It's going to be a dogfight, and we should have been coming in there with that expectation from the beginning. I don't care if we got to go 7 games, as long as this team gives their all. That's all I'm looking for, man. Okay. And I guarantee you this team is going to continue to grow. So let's go get it, man.
All right.
Talk in later. We outside.
We outside still. We outside still. I just let my man Timmy cook, man. I just let him cook.
He cooked. I can't lie.
This is why I rock with Timmy.
That was a cook, bro.
Timmy be cooking, man.
He knows ball.
Timmy knows ball, man. That's what I like when he calls in. I just shut the hell up sometimes. Just go.
Honestly, me too.
Oh man, Felicia says, did y'all talk about how heavy it is for Knicks to play here? We definitely talked about that, Felicia. We definitely did talk about that. For sure. One other thing too, Cat's hand. I saw something going around where Cat mouthed that he thinks his hand is broken. Oof.
I think it was his finger. I didn't see the whole hand. I think they were just talking about
Maybe
his finger.
maybe it is his finger. That's still a move. That's still something that can affect your shooting. Hopefully
100%.
it's not broken. Hopefully
Scary.
it's just a sting or something, a stinger. But yeah, that's a little concerning. That's a little concerning.
That happened with the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played fairly well through it in the second half. I know the pain might be a little bit different when the adrenaline wears off, but
Right.
I thought he played through it fairly effectively.
I agree. I mean, he's a gamer. He's a gamer. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with this 5-18. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes next game. All right. Yo, that's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are still here on TikTok, I feel like you guys are clearing out now. But if you guys are still here, we're here after every game. Thank you for the new followers. Thank you for the gifts that we got today. We're here after every game talking Knicks basketball. So if you want to rock with us, hit that follow button and we'll be here. And also, if you want to hit the hearts, get us 1,000 hearts on TikTok. I really appreciate that. So yeah, shout out to you guys on TikTok. Also, too, with the likes, can we get some more likes on YouTube as well? Shout out to you guys on YouTube. Shout out to Felicia Lee, Joel from AC, The Predicate, Gamer Channel, everybody else is rocking on YouTube. For TikTok, shout out to Club Metropolitan, user 2349. I don't know all those. Shout out to that guy as well. Club Metropolitan says Monday we're gonna be back in there better. I agree, man. I agree. We'll be back Monday.
Better, we're at home. No excuses.
No excuses, man. We need to take one at home. My thoughts were thinking we're probably gonna finish it in Boston. I kind of figured we was gonna at least lose one at home, but I want to win another. I want to win the next one. All right, for sure. Okay, Lee. Let them know, man. Let them know where to find you, man.
On Twitter @_ Lee Escobedo, LeeEscobedo. That's some fun projects I'm working on outside KOT. That's some fun stuff I'm working on for KOT. So yeah, man. It's been really fun talking Knicks with the chat. Love guys like Pittsburgh Timmy, who's been a long time supporter of the channel, coming on and speaking his piece. I also want to shout out some other guys in the chat that have been having great takes all season. My main man, the Predicate, my main queen, Felicia Lee, dropping excellent dimes, glamour, excellent dimes in the chat all the time, whether it's a win or loss, great analysis in their own right. Also, my main man, Fritz Alessander, the mod god, the fifth Beatle, has also been dropping some great episodes of his economy show and great takes when he shared the panel with us, including Phil too. So, man, much love to the entire KOT team. Again, very blessed to be able to talk about these wins or losses with all y'all after the game.
Facts. I'm not gonna lie. Lee, man. I always wanted to have the all lady show, dog. I really did.
Still possible,
man. Yo, Felicia, get some Felicia Glamour Ebony. Come on.
Yo, cook.
Felicia Glamour Ebony. Come on.
Not only would it be smart, it would be funny as hell.
Come on.
It'd be super funny.
3-woman weave. Come on. Kill. All right, yo. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. You can follow us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. All right. Also shout out to Lee for being the KOT PR person, getting the guest here. Shout out to Kyle Quinn, Wilson Chandler,
Hell yeah.
Who's been rocking with us. Everybody else rocking with the show. We appreciate you guys. All right. Thank you guys for rocking with us. That is the show. We'll be back Monday. And for you ladies out there, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, because I won't see you tomorrow. If you are a mother, happy Mother's Day. If you're not yet,
Ebony,
soon be Mother's Day. And everybody else, everyone here has a mother, so happy Mother's Day to all your mothers. All right.
And Ebony is a mother.
Absolutely, Ebony is a mother, so of course, happy Mother's Day to Ebony. All right, that is the show. Thank you guys for watching, and as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knick streets. That's the show. We out of here. Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.